Mikias was reading an old book, its pages yellowed with age and filled with the scent of history. The words were blurry, like they were swimming, almost as if they were alive, dancing on the page, heavy with the stories of long ago, tales of ancient civilizations and forgotten secrets. He touched the faded letters, a shiver going down his back, feeling a connection to the past. The Ark of the Covenant. Could it be real? Could the legends be true? Could it really be here, hidden in Ethiopia, among the ancient monasteries and rugged mountains? Suddenly someone knocked on his door. Mikias jumped, surprised, his heart racing. A messenger stood there, holding a sealed letter, his expression serious. The mark on the wax was easy to see. The Lion of Judah, the symbol of the Ethiopian Orthodox Church, a sign of great importance. Mikias's heart beat fast as he grabbed the letter. It was an invitation, an unexpected call to adventure, an invitation to Aksum, the ancient city of legends and mysteries. The letter was from Abune Kebede, the very important leader of the Ethiopian Orthodox Church, a man of great wisdom and authority. He was inviting Mikias, a smart young historian, to Aksum, the old capital city of Ethiopia, a place steeped in history. The reason to find out the truth about the Ark of the Covenant, a quest that could change everything. Mikias stared at the letter, his head spinning with possibilities and questions. This was a huge chance, a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Right away, Mikias knew he had to go. He packed his things, ready for the adventure that awaited him. The trip to Aksum was long and hard, a journey that tested both endurance and spirit. Mikias traveled on dusty roads where each mile seemed to stretch endlessly. With the hot Ethiopian sun blazing down, he felt the heat seeping into his bones. He went through busy cities and quiet towns, each with its own stories and unique charm. The land around him changed dramatically, from rolling hills to steep mountains, each landscape more breathtaking than the last. He saw farmers working tirelessly in their fields, their families helping them with dedication and love. He saw shepherds leading their sheep across wide open spaces, a timeless scene of pastoral life. He saw kids playing in the dirt, their laughter filling the air and bringing life to the villages. Ethiopia, he thought, was a land of opposites, a place where contrasts coexisted harmoniously. Old and new, busy and peaceful, all blending together in a unique tapestry. As he traveled, Mikias felt more and more excited, his anticipation growing with each passing mile. He had read all about it in history books and looked at old maps, imagining the stories they told, but nothing could compare to actually being in Ethiopia, breathing the same air, walking the same paths as people had done for centuries. Aksum, the old capital city, was waiting, a place steeped in history and culture, a place full of mystery and legends, where the past seemed to come alive, a place where history seemed to whisper in the wind, inviting him to uncover its secrets. Aksum was a city full of history. Tall obelisks, like giant stone markers from a great past, pointed to the sky. The air smelled strongly of incense, coming from old churches and monasteries. Everywhere Mikias looked, he saw signs of Ethiopia's rich culture. He visited the broken-down remains of old palaces, imagining the kings and queens who once lived there. He explored the twisty-turny rooms of the tomb of Caleb, amazed by the detailed carvings on the walls. He stood in front of the giant obelisk of Aksum, a reminder of how skilled builders were long ago. Every place he'd visited, every stone he touched, seemed to tell stories of a time long past. He felt the weight of history all around him, remembering the many, many people who had walked these paths before him. Aksum wasn't just a city, Mikias realized. It was a living museum, a reminder of the strong spirit of the Ethiopian people. Mikias felt himself pulled towards the Church of Our Lady Mary of Zion. It was as if an invisible force was guiding his steps, urging him forward with every heartbeat. People said it held the most holy treasure in Ethiopia, the Ark of the Covenant. Legends whispered that it had been there for centuries, protected by a lineage of devoted guardians. As he got closer to the church, he felt a rush of excitement mixed with nervousness. Could it really be true? The stories he had heard since childhood echoed in his mind.
The priest, who was used to showing pilgrims and scholars around, led Mikias through the church, telling him about its history and why it was important. He spoke of ancient times, of kings and prophets, and the sacred duty of protecting the Ark. He spoke of the Ark, his voice quiet and respectful. The Ark isn't just a thing, the priest explained, his voice echoing in the dimly lit space. It's a living testament to faith and divine promise. It's a symbol of God's promise to his people. It represents his presence, his power, his promise. The priest's words hung in the air, heavy with meaning and reverence.
Mikias listened carefully, his mind racing. He had so many questions. Was the Ark really here? What did it look like? Could he see it? The weight of history and mystery pressed upon him.
But the priest just smiled mysteriously. "Faith, young man," he said, putting a hand on Mikias's shoulder, "is often more powerful than seeing. Sometimes the greatest truths are felt, not seen."
Mikias got to meet Abune Kebede, the patriarch himself. The patriarch, a very important religious leader, greeted Mikias with kindness and wisdom. They sat together in a plain room with sunlight coming through the window.
"The Ark is a sacred trust," the patriarch explained, his voice soft but strong. "It has been given to us, the Ethiopian people, to take care of for centuries. But why here?" Mikias asked, saying the question that had been on his mind. "Why Ethiopia?" Narrator, media group, Ethiopian young man listening intently, young man in traditional Ethiopian clothing, focused young man in Ethiopian village at stock at distribute equally. Mikias listened closely. He had read the story, how the Queen of Sheba went to Jerusalem to meet King Solomon, how they had a son, Menelik I, who brought the Ark to Ethiopia to keep it safe.
The patriarch smiled.
"God works in mysterious ways, young man," he said. "He chooses unexpected places, the most humble people, to carry out his plan."